two, three. One, two, three. Let's go.
All right, everybody, welcome to a very important episode of Teaching Crypto. MrFOMO, we have some Voyager delays that we need to let our audience know about, and we're going to get into it very deep this week. We've got one big guest coming up and maybe even a second that a lot of you know very well. But first, let's start with and I'm going to call it bad news for now. It may not end up being bad news, but it's bad just because we don't want any delays. It doesn't mean anything's gone horribly wrong. But we originally were going to have the bids due this Friday. Well, the bids are not due now until September 6th, so that's a 10-day delay. So that's the first big number that you guys need to be aware of. The auction, which was set for Monday, August 29th, is now going to be set for a week after the bids, September 13th. So the first thing I see here is they've given a lot more space between the bid deadlines and the actual auction, which is interesting. And if you want to object to the sale, that's been pushed back from the 6th all the way to the 22nd. And then everything, the final deadline to get out of bankruptcy is now in November, where it used to be at the end of October. So that's kind of where we're at here. And, not ideal by any means.
The idea that there could be delays thrown into this process, though, this is not that much of a surprise. And these delays don't always necessarily mean something negative. It could just be something as simple as they need more time to review the bids. They need more time to get something together. There are a lot of different reasons why they might file for an extension, but certainly the customers are the ones that are hurt by this. Really, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything has gone wrong, but it certainly hurts the customers because that opportunity cost has now been pushed further back.
Well, so we had some people in Twitter trying to say, well, maybe they can get going in November, December. Maybe January is, them being cautious. And I think now we see realistically, let's tell our audience, January kind of is best case right now. Yeah, technically we can get out of bankruptcy in November and then we really could start before the holidays. But as you mentioned, and a reminder of viewers, why is December probably not likely in terms of the start date?
To me, I don't think December or January really are likely start dates because the holidays, the December people are going to want to take that money immediately out and go spend it. January, they're going to have credit card bills, if they didn't get their hands on that money in December, and they're going to want to get their hands on that money immediately. And
so you're thinking February. The reason I'm thinking January is new year, new opportunity, new excitement, and it's kind of a good way to kick things back off. I think we're going to warn people, whoever takes over or what the situation is, there's probably going to be some withdrawal limits, I would think. I don't think you're going to be able to just withdraw a full amount like before. Originally it was 25,000 normally, and then 2 weeks before everything ended it dropped down to 10K. But I think you're going to see a bit of a withdrawal limit. But the key here is you can have a delay. We don't want another delay. We don't want this to push into December or January of next year, because then morale starts getting a little bit lower. And no, it's not the end of the world, but not ideal. The longer this goes, we've talked about this from the beginning, the longer we stay in bankruptcy. And yes, people say bankruptcy takes a long time. That's great. But the longer people have their money trapped and the longer it takes to restart, the less chances of success. I'll keep saying it, and I'll saying it over and over again. One of the things I loved about this process, and I'll give Steve some benefit of the doubt, he came into bankruptcy, unlike Celsius, with a plan. They had their financials ready, which was great. So they had a timeline that was great. Not great because we're in bankruptcy. It still sucks, but great because we were fast tracking it. And so now we've been delayed. August 26th,
there are some,
it was great.
Some evidence to suggest that they knew well before that they were going into bankruptcy, and they were discussing this with other bankruptcy lawyers before they hired.
Oh, yeah. We've talked about that before. But my point that I'm trying to make, August 26th is in a few days. That to me sounds so much better than September 6th. It's only a 10-day difference, but when you are waiting to get your money back and in terms of crypto and have access to it and start trading again, 10 days is a big deal when you've been waiting months already. So I want to remind our viewers really quickly, that's September 6th. That's when all the bids are due. And let's hope it's a situation. And we've got the legend hopefully tomorrow coming on our next show, coming on Obi with us. But just a Voyager. If you want to talk Voyager, he's the man. He's going to break this down with us even further. Um, September 6th, the bids are due. Let's hope that this is allowing people to supposedly do even more research. Hopefully, the ones that want to win, they even up their bid. Maybe it ends up being a good thing. I'm trying to be a little bit optimistic here. And then you got a week to sort everything through. Auction September 13th. And then between that time, between the 13th and the 22nd, there's a good chance we'll hear about who the winner is. So again, we're still looking at a 2 to 3 time period where we have some type of answer. That I want to keep that. I want, and it's not just about me, it's about everyone out there that's watching that has their funds trapped. I want this auction to happen September 13th, not September 20th, not October 13th. That is very important.
And I think what you're saying there, Big Worm said it best: is toying with my money is like toying with my emotions. You just don't do that to people. You don't mess with people's money, and that's what they're doing. So I hope we have and let's not forget, there's a really strong committee working for the customers.
Absolutely.
This timeline is on hyper speed compared to some of the other companies that have faced the same issue. So kind of that when in doubt, zoom out ideal kind of put to this bankruptcy proceeding. Look at the bigger picture and realize that this still is moving pretty quickly. There is a 10-day delay now, which is unfortunate. There's some more space between that deadline and the auction, but still, this is hyper speed compared to what Celsius and what Mount Gox or any of those other companies went through. And so let's pray and hope that this continues to move quickly, and we are still looking at Q1 of next year as the latest when we're going to get our money. I think that's what the hope is right now, at least for me. The realistic hope anyway.
And we got September 29th. That's, sadly, that's a 3-week sale hearing when we will have a great idea of who this is. And that's the time to get excited. Now we're going to keep you guys updated. Yes, things have been delayed, but we're still within a month of this 4 to 5 weeks of everything getting situated here. So let's hope for the best. I want to talk a bit about the VGX token. We had theorized, not financial advice. And by the way, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to hear more of us, you want to hear us break down every move that happens in court, hit that subscribe button, hit that share. We're even going to be going live soon on YouTube. Hopefully we get that figured out. You hit that notification bell when we go live and you can join us. Who knows, maybe even some Twitter space appearances by MrFOMO if his wife allows him to.
We'll definitely do that.
He's got to break away. But, his wife said the more viewers we get, the more he's allowed to come on the air. So let's make it happen, folks.
That's right.
VGX token. I had theorized, not financial advice, that we were going to have a pretty good run up. And, earlier in the week, it looked like I was right. We hit 35 cents earlier within the last week. Now we've gone all the way back down to 26.27. Now, since the news of the delay, we've only gone down 1.7%. Not a huge drop. But considering within the last week we're at 35 cents, we're down to 27. I think we might see a cooling off period until the next few dates. So remember, we were looking at the 26th. Now we're looking at September 6th. Until the next auction deadline, I don't think we're going to see a ton of action. So this gives you some time to kind of think about it. If you want to think about this as a swing trade, I know a lot of you have your VGX locked on Voyager, but remember, it is available on FTX and Coinbase. So easily gotten in other places. What is your theory about, now that we've been delayed, how does that affect your assessment of the VGX token over the next few weeks?
it gives me kind of a wait and see attitude. I'm going to give it a look. There's still some stuff out in the market that could happen. We discussed kind of off air, some of the things that are going on with China and their housing market, which have been well publicized. That's a huge asset class, the biggest asset class in the world. And, that something there may have an effect. How big that is, I don't know. And so just kind of a wait and see attitude, waiting for those dates to roll up, because when those dates do start to arrive and they get more set in stone, then I think you'll see VGX move irrespective of the market. You see some of these coins moving, and some people are calling VGX a meme coin now. Whatever, there's an opportunity to make money there, whether you think it's a meme coin or whether you think that that's positive news that could get it moving in the right direction. Either way, there's money to be made there. So I think I'm going to take a wait and see attitude. If it drops a little bit more, I might scoop a lot up.
I'm thinking between the 6th and the 13th, we might see a lot of volatility. Just like I was expecting volatility between the 26th and 29th. Those are the kind of new dates. So that's what you get by watching this channel. And I think not financial advice. You want to take a hard look at the situation. Because remember, 70% is locked up. Keep that in mind. You want to be careful, obviously, because we are still definitely in a bear market. We've seen what happened at BTC. We told you guys at 25K. Remember, we told you this probably was not sustainable. All right. We told you we're still in the bear, and look what happened. And I'm going to keep saying this. I don't think we pull out of our bear completely till late 2023, early 2024. Again, I'm not a TA expert. All the algorithms I've looked at are kind of similar in that stage. It doesn't mean we're going to have some spike. We're not going to have some spikes. In fact, I think ETH will run before the next merge. I do, but you better take profits because that run could end right away.
We also said Polygon Matic might also run with it, because this isn't going to speed up ETH, and it's not going to decrease the transaction fees or the gas fees. So some of those layer 2 solutions might run with it as well.
So I wanted to quickly just touch a little bit on Avalanche. It jumped Polygon, 14th highest market cap, and it's actually up over 4% in the past day. And it's at 6.7 billion market cap.
Didn't you AVAX in our draft?
Yeah, so remember, Avalanche's all-time high is 146. We're at 23. Remember this, guys. If you are able to DCA in slowly over the next year and a half, you're not going to regret buying Avalanche under 25. I'll tell you that right now. Now, again, crazy things can happen. I think this is a great project. I don't think it's anything like Luna. I think it's well-rounded. I think you'll be safe, but again, be careful. But again, that's one of the coins that we've been talking. We're going to keep talking about this. And in 2025, if you are watching the show now and you've slowly built up your Avalanche bag and you can take profits in 2024-25, you're going to love this show. You're going to love the profits you make. That's why you got to hit that subscribe button. That's why you got to share, because we're giving you stuff. And again, no one's becoming a millionaire right now overnight. But over the next 2 years, hopefully we can help you guys reach some financial freedom. So Avalanche is one we keep talking about. We'll keep bringing these up. Great project. I don't think it's even close to being done in the top 14. But again, look at some of our old shows. If you are brand new to crypto right now and you want to slowly get in, and it's a bear market, and again, we still think that BTC has plenty of volatility. There could be another black swan event. Who knows? It could be a political issue. Could be the issue in China. Be careful. But the bottom line is, this is actually a great time to slowly get into crypto.
That's right. And there are probably dozens of YouTubers out there screaming that Bitcoin is going to, make this huge jump. I don't see it really happening. One of the indicators that I've looked at is the strength of the American dollar versus sort of a bucket of other currencies. It's called the DXY. And when you look at that, you see that the American dollar is actually gaining strength against other currencies. And so when you have the largest economy in the world gaining, and its fiat gaining strength, you have a tendency to see people moving away from investment and starting to become more cash strong. So I don't see a lot of reasons for people right now to dump their money into assets, especially risky asset classes like crypto and Bitcoin. So take that for what it's worth, not financial advice, but I just, have have your phone ready or have your account ready and be ready to take profits as soon as you can.
So look for our next big episode, guys, with the VGX Voyager legend, Obi-Wan. He's going to be joining us for the first time, and can't wait to break down the latest and what he thinks about what's going to happen in the future. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and have a great night, everybody.
See ya.